Hey, what's up all you do-it-yourselfers? My name's Dylan and this is Dylan's DIY Workshop. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of unconventional video for this channel. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to sew. It's a skill that I think everybody should know how to do for small things. Like I have this pair of shorts that at the bottom of the leg it's got this rip, and I already fixed the other leg. It had the same problem. I just fixed it up right there. You can kind of tell if you look at it, but it's a pair of work shorts, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to extend the life of them by sewing this up. So I'll teach you guys how to sew by hand a small thing like this. Okay, so my mom taught me how to sew a long time ago. I remember I made a guitar pick case for my dad out of felt. I made one for me too, but I never ended up learning how to play the guitar. So you're going to want to take and thread a needle, and to do that, find some thread. Find a sewing needle like this. It's got a little tiny hole in the end of it. See how it's got a little baby hole there? I don't know if you can see that. It's got a hole in it. And to do that, what you want to do is lick your finger, just like lick your finger, and then pinch the end of the thread like that. So that way it makes it all nice and tight together, not frayed at all. And then with that, grasp it probably like about a ½ inch away from the end, and then take the sewing needle and put that through the hole in the sewing needle. And sometimes that's more difficult than others. And so once you get it down here without dropping it, take the top of the needle and pinch that between your fingers like that. So that now you're holding the thread and the needle, and grab that extra ½ inch with the other hand and pull it out like that so that you got 4 or 5 inches, and that's perfect because now you're not going to lose it. And for the project I'm doing, I'll probably need, I don't know, maybe 2 feet of thread. Take your 2 feet of thread and you're going to want to cut it now. So take however long you need, cut it with a nice sharp pair of scissors, and you'll end up with just one piece like this. And to hold on to this, what you're going to want to do is hold on to the back of the needle when you're holding it for the most part, so that it's not pulling like this. If you pull this way, it's going to have more friction on the longer piece than it is on the shorter piece, so it's just going to come out of the needle. So if you hold it in the needle like that, it's not going to come out. Okay, so what you want to do is take your sewing needle, and we're going to start over here. So the rip starts here. We're going to start right about at the rip. So you go in like that, just stick it right through, pull it out the other side, and it's hard to see what I'm actually doing here because it's hard to film it. But just go back in the opposite side of the split in the close so that when you come back out, it's over here instead of over here. So grab it, you can pull through by the needle, and then immediately you want to grab by the back of the needle where the thread is again, and pull through until the rest of the thread makes it to almost the first hole that you started at. You can leave about 1 inch or 2 extra because you're going to cut that off anyways. Go back through again in about the same spot. And this time, when you're pulling through, before pulling it tight, before it's completely tight, go underneath of this bit right here, that first pass that you did. Go under it once, go under it twice, kind of like you're tying a knot, right? And if that comes undone, just like what I did, go ahead and go through again, and then do it on the front side under this loop that you still have. So go through once, and then go through twice, and then pull it tight. It should be tight right there. So now the thread is stuck in the shorts and you can pick it up by the shorts. So that's how you get it started. And if you want it to be a really nice strong thread, you might want to do that once or twice again, just to have another knot right there. That way if one breaks, the other one probably won't. And so you could do that really easily. Just poke the needle back through, and this one will be even easier than the last one because the thread isn't going to come undone. Just through again, like that. And there you go. So that's how you start a thread. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. So I'm going to go in through the top, come back through the opposite side of the gap in this rip right here. So I'm going to go in through here, come back out through this side. And I'm going to keep doing that until we get down here to the end, or I run out of thread. Either one of those, whichever one happens, I will show you how to go from there. Alright, so I've gotten to the end now, and instead of just stopping there, I have enough thread, I'm going to go back across again. So you're going to want to tie a knot down here at the end, just in case the thread somehow breaks in one spot, it'll stop at the knot. So we're going to go through, and then we're going to come back up through the other side, and then pull it kind of tight, and then we're going to want to make sure that we go through that at least twice. And there's our knot. You don't want to pull too hard because you will probably break the thread, and that's always a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to go back across, and then I will catch you guys in a second. And when you're doing this, the threads don't have to be that often. See how they're spread out? They're almost 3/8 of an inch apart. When I go back across, I'm going back the other way. I'm making kind of like an X pattern, if that makes any sense. Okay, so same thing down here at the other end. Once you're finally done, if you're making another pass, make a knot, go through, and then pull it tight. And then obviously you're going to want to make another one of those knots. Just make at least 2. I sometimes make 3 or 4. So you just go through again, tie your knot. And this is more of like a rough stitching job if you need to do something like this. If not, then maybe get somebody else to do it if it needs to be really pretty. But if it doesn't, this is definitely a skill that everybody should know. Okay, something else I'm going to show you right here because I know that this sometimes becomes a problem. If you're running out of thread and you're pulling it through, and you know how it's doubled over right by the needle? If it's still doubled over when you pull it almost all the way out, say that little bit is still in the shorts, what you want to do is let go of the back of the needle and gently pull just a little bit. You see how that little tail's getting shorter? So that's just going to give you more to work with. And so that's what you're going to want to do if you end up running out of the doubled over part. And it gets hard to turn the needle at certain points, so you're going to want to leave yourself probably an extra 4 or 5 inches before you're done. So I could only go through a couple more times with this much thread to make it easy. You could go through a lot more times if you were good at what you're doing. But for the most part, you're probably better off to finish off by making your knots while you still have enough material, and then just snip off like 4 or 5 inches. So I'll tie one more knot and we'll be done. Right there. Okay, so this is the little bit that we have right there, and what you want to do is take a pair of scissors. I just have this, I guess that's really rusty. I have this, that's why they felt like they worked good, because they were just rusty and stuck together. So I got this pair of scissors that doesn't work very well. Use whatever scissors you have. The sharper the better, it'll be easier to cut thread. And I don't actually see that 1-inch tail that we started with, so there we go. Alright guys, I hope you learned something new right here. That is how you sew something, and that's a very valuable skill to know. It absolutely is. So just find yourself one thing of thread so that you can practice sewing up your work clothes or sewing up anything that doesn't necessarily have a lot of value. Like I wouldn't go and fix holes in suits or anything if I had one of those. I wouldn't be doing that myself because obviously I'm not at that skill level, but at least I know how to sew things if I need to. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to learn how to sew on a sewing machine, just so that you have that skill too, like how to put 2 pieces together, let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, if you're new, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please share this video with a friend. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.